Brother, this is the concern reporting live for Career Corner, One Nation Youth Development, with my main girl, Slee. Please introduce yourself to the cameraman.
My name is Slindile Ndlela.
Slindile Ndlela. Okay, Mama Slindile Ndlela, who we should respect. We are here talking Career Corner. We're talking to the youth, motivating the youth. Can you just please tell the people who are watching right now, what is it you do for a living?
So I work in employee relations. So I'm an employee relations manager.
Employee relations, ER.
Yes, ER.
Not emergency.
Not emergency room or emergency rescue or emergency anything.
Okay.
Employee relations.
Okay, now I'm a person who's never heard of this term. Can you please break it down for me? What is it? What is a ER?
So an ER person is basically a custodian of all policies and procedures within an organization, managing the relationship between the company and an employee.
Okay, basically like what, the middleman?
We could call it a middleman if we wanted
but
to.
When it comes to what exactly?
Compliance with regards to internal policies and procedures, whether it be disciplinary procedures, performance management procedures.
Like if you find two people dating at work and then there's not supposed to be dating at work, then they call you in.
Yes, I'm that guy. Pretty much.
Okay, cool. So now, a person who's watching this is like, okay, this sounds a bit interesting. Then how does one get into a field like this? Like, how did you get into it?
Personally, how I got into it, I studied Bcom in industrial psychology, and I first started out in sales, and then obviously I wasn't interested because my passion lied in HR more.
Okay.
So I went into doing my honors, and as a result I ended up getting an internship.
So you have an honors in what?
In industrial psychology as well. Psychology. Yes.
How long did you take studying that?
Well, the degree takes 3 years, and the honors takes a year if you do it full time. But if you do it part time, it's going to be 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. What did you study?
So I studied my degree at the University of Zululand.
Okay.
And then I did my honors at the Northwest University.
Okay. So from University of Zululand, from the Northwest, and then how did you start now? Okay. First job I'm getting, and then now you started climbing up the ladder.
First job is an industrial relations consultant. Really, it was one of those entry-level jobs within the ER space where you consult with various companies to help them formulate their policies and procedures, make sure that they have the correct rules in place, basically helping them set down guidelines for their employees in the company, because ultimately that's what a person who's an ER professional does. You have to make sure that the correct policies and procedures are in place within an organization, that they're being abided by, and if we're deviating from them, why are we deviating, etc. So you're like an advisor.
Okay.
Yeah, we can call it an advisor.
And today we are where we are. And then a person who's watching this, who's interested, like, what kind of character should they have in doing this? Because, for instance, I want to do music. I was on Idols. I'm famous. You know me. I have that passion of musical. But now, obviously, I can't do what you do. What kind of a character should a person have to say, okay, I want to work in ER?
You need to be emotionally sound. Most importantly, you must be a logical thinker. You need to be able to apply. You need to read a lot so that you can apply your mind and different principles and different legal principles when making a decision. So you need to be a very, very sound, emotionally sound person. Okay,
cool. Like, what about being mean or just being cold?
No,
because it sounds like the kind of job you do sounds like you're a person, when you walk in the building, people are like,
There's that. Yes, that's so close.
Yeah, basically, exactly. I didn't want to say it, but you know it. Sorry for it.
Yeah, no, it's sort of one of those jobs, but apart from the mean side of it, there's that part of it. That's why it's called employee relations ultimately, because there's that aspect of the human element where you help employees, because ultimately, as much as I'm the custodian who says this is the rule, you need to follow it, I need to provide guides for the employee as well. In order for you not to fall out of place, you need to be able to do this. But should you find yourself in a position where this happens, then this is how you can, alleviate yourself from doing the same thing again. So as much as there's the strict rules side of it, there's also the human element that you have to have.
That you have to have, like, compassion with people.
Yes.
Okay, not everything is like black and white. Oh, when I said
No,
tosha,
no, you can only probably do that when No, not even when you're a lawyer, but you can do that more when you're sticking strictly to the law. But with employee relations, you have to apply that human
And I
element
suppose
to
with
it.
the fourth industrial revolution booming, like the thing you said about you need to read a lot,
Yes.
that's where it really comes to, because things evolve all the time. Like all the time, they change all the time.
And it's very important because now with the fourth industrial revolution, there's robotics and all of these things, and there's less need for human
Interaction. Like banks are closing out. We know that Standard Bank has DSTV. They're going through the same thing. And in Klebi, it's what's happening. DSTV
And it
is going
is what
through
is
something.
happening, yeah.
Standard Bank is shutting down branches because people can actually interact with apps
on the phone, yeah.
on the phone,
So
yeah.
with that being said, now we've got this human relations that we need to manage, and we also guide people as far as what they need to do in order to stay relevant, because it's always important to stay relevant if you're working. We can't get rid of people in the workplace, because you still need that human element in any workplace, really.
That's true.
It just is about how you remain relevant, and that's also part of there being policies and procedures in place. So you need to read a lot, you need to see exactly what's happening in the environment, in the economy, everything, and be aligned with that so that you know exactly how to make yourself stay relevant.
Okay, with the qualification that you got, before we wrap up, what other sorts of fields you could have went to? Because I had with like industrial psychology, people would have like a variety of things they can do. So
you can go into psychometrics with industrial psychology. Industrial psychology is basically the study of human behavior within the workplace. So you can, the HR department is basically your I'll say your playground, because you can go into learning and development, you can go into recruitment and selection. It basically allows you to work in all sorts of areas within the HR department, as well as psychometrics, where you do the analytics of people's what are these psychometric tests, etc., and how you fit people into certain positions based on their personalities, etc., etc. So the human resources department is the best place to work in if you are doing industrial psychology.
Okay, cool. I think you've said quite enough. I'm sure whoever's watching this, they are doing research on stuff that they want to study, and then maybe they bump into this video, or a friend or a family member recommending these videos to them, and then you're watching like, oh, okay, cool. Just make sure that you do more research. Like, for instance, what she said, she's doing a kind of job where you have to constantly, I don't know, being a bookworm is still even a term, but you have to constantly be informed.
Be informed, you have to be.
Yeah.
Even if you're not reading books, read articles, there's the internet. You Google one word, you'll find a stream of articles. So it's important to just stay informed.
Oh wow, I know. I can see before Sukambe Slindile shutting us out with our career corner. Can you just say ratata career corner, ratata?
Ratata career corner, ratata.
Ratata One Nation Youth Development, ratata.
Ratata One Nation Youth Development, ratata.
We out.